Hello there, welcome to Paydirt TV. My name is Mark Andrews and today I'm joined by Tesoro Resources Managing Director, Zeph Reeves. Thanks for joining me, Zeph.
Thanks, Mark. Great to come back.
Well, last time we chatted, Zeph, you said the company was onto something special, that the Tesoro prospect in Chile at the El Zorro project. How and why is your confidence growing all the time?
Yeah, Mark, look, I think, obviously we liked the project when we got involved with it before we were listed. There was mineralisation there that we could see. Tesoro is a ridge of gold mineralisation that sticks out of the ground essentially. And I suppose what we were able to do was unravel that story a little bit before listing in February, and then since then we've just been going crazy with the drilling and getting some pretty solid hits and consistent results. And I think, the thing that we like about it is just through that good geology work and sound exploration work, we're just seeing this deposit continually expand. And I think what we're getting quite confident about now is what we're seeing, particularly to the south extensions that we've recently drilled. We had an announcement out this week with some more big, wide drill intercepts. So that system is well and truly open to the south there. And look, the size of the intercepts that we're getting, it's starting to rack up some fairly serious tonnes to what is emerging as what we think is going to be a significant deposit. And I suppose the other point to make is Tesoro is only the first of 5 targets that we've looked at so far. We're doing some work on the others and working those up, and they've all got solid hits of gold mineralisation at surface from initial surface sampling work. So it's all pointing to a big district scale system. No one's ever worked on it before. We're first guys there. Look, certainly the drilling at the end of the day is what's giving us the confidence that we're onto something quite significant at Tesoro.
Yeah, and I believe that it's a mineralisation not accustomed to being discovered in Chile. What's surprising you about it?
Well, I think the main surprise is just the consistency of the drill results. I mean, in my career, I've never worked on an exploration program, let alone, even in the middle of a mining operation where you get such consistent drilling results. I mean, we've now drilled, I think they're actually drilling up to the 77th hole at the moment. We've got assays back for around 55, 56 of those holes. They've all had significant intercepts returned, and some of those are quite exceptional. We've drilled 11 holes now with over 100 gram metre intercepts. The consistency of delivering those drill results in just about every single hole is what's really surprising us. It's just quite phenomenal, actually.
And as we head towards the back end of 2020, a lot of people looking forward to the holiday period, but Tesoro is ramping up. You've got 2 rigs drilling 24/7 at the moment and more capacity on the way in early 2021. How important is it going to be to maintain the momentum you've built throughout 2020 over the holiday period?
So obviously we've achieved some pretty good momentum this year, so we'll continue to do that. So we're pretty well drilling through the Christmas period. We'll give our guys a little bit of time off over Christmas, New Year. They certainly have earned it. They've done a fantastic job, and the team in country's just done an absolute momentous effort to get us to where we are. But essentially we'll be aiming to get back on the ground first week of January, probably before rigs going flat out. We'll probably look to get another couple, and the team's really focused on getting that maiden resource out at some stage in the first half of next year. But look, that's really contingent on the size of this deposit. I think I've said it before, we haven't found the edges of this yet. It seems the more we drill, the more gold we're finding. The other part that people sometimes don't understand is just the location. I mean, the guys can be up at the rig drilling at work, and then they're sitting at a bar overlooking the ocean, having their dinner in the afternoon or in the evening, 45 minutes away. So we've got great access to infrastructure. Any future mining operation there's going to have sort of multiple power options. We've got access to water out of the sea, close to a port. So it ticks all those sorts of boxes. And I think if this was in Australia, we'd certainly be getting a lot more attention probably than what we are now.
Well, you mentioned Australia. We've seen a fair amount of exploration success the last 12 months. How do you find your rating against your peers?
Yeah, look, certainly there's a premium probably given to Australian companies. Look, if this was in Australia, it's like, you know, putting a major gold deposit 40 kilometres out of Geraldton, right next to the highway. So you have all this access to infrastructure, and I think the market's beginning to understand that. Chile's a major mining country. It's the world's biggest copper producer, got a very stable regime, and I would argue that it's easier for mining companies and exploration companies to operate in Chile than it is even in Western Australia. You know, I think when compared to Australia, you know, obviously I'm biased, but we think El Zorro and Ternera are, you know, right up there with some of the best exploration results that are being delivered into the market at the moment. And certainly, if it was in Australia, we'd be getting much more value in the market, I'd say.
And Ternera is one of 5 prospects that you've mentioned. When can we start to learn more about the other 4?
Yeah, look, I mentioned before we're chipping away at all of that work. Our team's doing some surface work there as we speak, particularly on the target directly south of Ternera called Torre Gordo. We've expanded the geophysics survey area that we had completed earlier this year, so that work's underway at the moment and should be completed soon. And look, that's certainly given us a very good you know, see through into the geology and particularly the structure and the structures that we think are controlling gold mineralisation. So there's a couple of those targets that we like the look of. Torre Gordo is one of them, and we believe that the Ternera system connects across to Drone Hill to the northwest. So we're just working those up a little bit more before we make a decision to drill those, but look, it's certainly looking positive.
And just on the next round of results from Ternera, when can we expect those?
So we're starting to see those results come through in pretty decent batches now, as evidenced on the last announcement. I think we announced 5 or 6 holes in one hit. There's about 19 holes outstanding, plus whatever we're continually drilling. So, you know, those results should be coming through sort of probably on a weekly to 2-weekly basis, and I'd expect it to continue for some time while we're drilling. Obviously, we've got a lot of work ahead of us. You know, these big step out holes that we've been drilling to the south, we really like the look of, and that's added, you know, huge scale to this project. So there's a lot of infill drilling to do there, which the team has commenced, but we'll really get stuck into that in early 2021.
Excellent. And it's been a big year for the company, coming to the market in February this year. How would you, looking back on 2020, how would you describe it?
Oh, look, it's been a phenomenal year. I think, you know, we're very lucky that we've managed to get our hands on a project like El Zorro, which is able to continually deliver results. And, you know, it's always a pleasure as a geologist, and particularly for our guys on site, it's so satisfying for them to have a deposit which is continually growing and has had so much exploration success. And then obviously from a market perspective, it's great to have some recognition there, and that's been reflected in the share price. You know, investors who have backed the company from the beginning have been very happy with our performance, obviously. We think it's got a long way to go. Obviously, you know, based on the things that I've just been talking about, we think this is a big gold system. It's got a long way to go yet before we sort of define how big it is, but it's going to be an exciting 2021.
Congratulations on the progress made by the company to date, and thanks for joining us on Paydirt TV once again. All the best for 2021, and we look forward to catching up soon.
Yeah, great. Thanks, Mark. Great to be back.